I am here with 7 of 10 inspiring women who have teamed up to release a powerful new book for mothers raising student athletes. The book is called Sports Mom's Playbook, a guide to balancing faith, family, and sports, published by Books for Athletes. The book is currently available on Amazon. How are you ladies doing tonight?
Good. How about yourself?
Sure.
Good.
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time. What inspired you to come together and create Sports Mom's Playbook? And how did the collaboration between 10 women come about?
Well, I'll take some of that question. Um, I think we all have a passion about how important our voices is as sports moms. And so we was like, okay, let's put it in the book. Let's write a chapter. And so let's share our passions and our voice to other moms to educate them. And so that's how we came together to write this book because we all have like-minded inspiration that we want to share with moms that we didn't have when we were raising our kids, no voices, nobody coming and pouring into us. So we wanted to make sure that we poured into others. That's from my perspective.
How would you describe the heart of this book? Is it more of a guide, a testimony, or a source of encouragement for mothers navigating sports life?
All of the above.
Okay.
We each take a piece of everything that you just said, and all of it together is a beautiful masterpiece of how to navigate your student athlete, not just yours, but other people.
That's incredible. Were there any moments during the writing process that surprised you or shifted your own perspective as a sports mom?
I would say yes. You read, I've been reading the book. When you're going through it, you don't really, you're just focusing on your portion and how to make sure you get everything down. But when you're reading everybody else's story, you like, okay, maybe I didn't do this right, or maybe I can help, let me I looked at this wrong. So I would say yes, because you always seem to think as an individual that your story is the only story out there. You're the only one going through something until you read other people's stories and you're like, I'm not the only one. I can overcome it. And you read from the 10 authors, you read how each one overcame their story.
For sure. How do you balance 10 voices and experiences to create one cohesive message for readers?
Ooh.
I'll take
And
that one.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think we did a really great job respecting each other. We had a really deep respect for each other's journey and for what we could all bring to the table. And it was really exciting to go into a project with 9 other moms where everyone from the start um, was reassured that we're all going to bring something different to the table. Like, yes, we have commonalities because for me, that was one of my biggest concerns. Like, okay, is my story going to be different? But as we had meetings, as we talked, as we, read through people's drafts, looked at pictures of our families, there are commonalities, and that's great because it gives other moms following behind us a framework to use. But it was very amazing to have 10 distinctly different voices deliberately making a decision to collaborate to bring this project to life.
That's so incredible. How has faith played a role in helping you support your children through the highs and lows of sports?
Oh, wow. I mean, we could
I
talk
can,
all day about faith, I think. I mean, I
yeah,
think faith,
I can
you know,
probably speak on that as well.
the fact that, that's part of the subtitle of the book, I think in all of our journeys, it was a faith walk because you don't know how it's going to end. But I would, you know, say that all of us have our own success stories, and I'll put success in quotations because again it's subjective, but we have our own success stories of seeing our young adults or our babies go through different things, but also knowing that we were praying women and that we wanted to encourage them like only a mother truly can. So I just think that the faith aspect of it is all encompassing for all of us. And so I just think that that really was a great commonality as far as, and I don't know if Karen knew that or not. I don't know. But anyway, I just think obviously, right, it was a God thing because I don't know majority of these ladies. And so to be able to come together and collaborate in the way that we did to bring up about this project is nothing but a God thing.
Right. And I'm gonna piggyback off of what she said. Faith is what brought us together. Like she said, like I would have never 2 years ago, I would have never thought about doing anything like this. I met Karen through Faith. It was just an email that was sent out, said, "Hey, I'm a sports mom doing that," and then she brought us all together. And it was the reason I know it was Faith because when we all met each other the first time, it was like we had known each other forever, and we've since then built this bond, and now we've created this masterpiece. So yes, faith is a big deal in this. And it's with me personally, it's helping me also build my own personal faith with my kid as they continue to grow or as he continues to grow through his journey.
That's incredible. I love to hear that. What advice would you give mothers struggling to balance family commitments, career goals, and their child's demanding sports schedule?
I would say, don't be afraid that you're doing it wrong. One of the common themes we all had is as we were going through the journey, we were all afraid that we were doing it wrong. Part of the reason that we wrote the book is because we wanted to be vulnerable and show that you can make mistakes. You might not, quote unquote, do it right, but it is still possible to support your child all the way to their desired goal, even if you, quote unquote, aren't doing it right. So that was one of the things that I hope that every mom who reads the book takes away, that they don't have to feel guilty about, oh my gosh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. There's room for mistakes on the journey, but you really can't mess up. If you're really open and you submit to God, you can't really mess up what He's got planned for you. You might alter your journey might take a little longer and it might detour, but if you're if you keep walking in faith, you'll get to where you're supposed to be.
I
I
would
love
just want to add to be present and enjoy the journey because you don't know how long the journey is going to be. So be present in it and ask for help.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Ask for help because I do believe that moms, we often take on that superwoman, super mom type of role, and it's okay. I mean, that was one of the first things that I really do believe that myself and my husband we did was we created a village. So if we needed to carpool to practice, we knew who we could count on. We knew who we could trust with our babies and whatnot. So yeah, asking for help is huge, especially if you're a single mom, because creating that village is going to help you push your babies forward in a way that you being solo you might get more drained, you might be a little bit more frustrated, you've got so many different irons in the fire and things like that. So creating that village, and of course leaning on God, leaning on the fact that like James Etta said, what God had for our babies is still for our babies, but again, there are some twists and turns. It is not always a straight line. There are peaks and valleys, and so going through those things you also have to keep yourself, because again, especially when they're young, they're looking to you, right? Because you're mom, and they do look at you. Sometimes they probably don't admit it, but they do look at you like, oh, you super mom and you're supposed to make it happen. So creating that village and not being afraid to ask for help is really huge.
And breathe. Just breathe. Because we do get overwhelmed. I don't think there's a mom out there. I know the 9 moms, you're all overwhelmed. It's okay. Just breathe. Deal with what it is, tackle it again the next day because it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and
definitely agree with that. I think the advice we could give a mom is, of course, prioritize. Even
Mm.
before your children begin playing sports, that's going to be a big deal in your family life. You just have to make what are the priorities? What are your end goals when it comes to raising your children, period? And then sports begins to play a role in that, but you never forget what those priorities are. We want to create young human beings who have good character, who are disciplined and responsible. So if those are your priorities, then this journey of student athletes has to align with what your priorities are. So that's the advice that I would give. And then it's again your journey. No two journeys in the sports world or with student athletes are going to look the same. So, take solace in that this is your journey. The decisions that you're going to make, they're going to be the right decisions because they're what's right for your child or for your family. And then lastly, let the moment that you're in be the moment that you're in. So many people live in what's going to happen tomorrow or what happened yesterday. But as sports moms, we know that we have to be in the moment that we're in with our student athlete because you want to either enjoy that moment or learn a lesson from that moment, but you don't want to always be living in something that happened yesterday or projecting something for tomorrow. So that would be my advice for any sports mom or parent, sports parent as well.
Beautiful advice. How can moms connect with your community or contribute their own sports mom stories?
Well, the book is more than a chapter. It's an interactive book. There are tips. There's words from referees. There are checklists. There are ways that we have a page in there. It's called More Than an Athlete, where if you have a son that's doing more than sports, because we want to create a well-rounded kid and they're doing things in the community, there's a way where you can scan a barcode and connect and share that story on our Can We Talk Sports talk show. So there's ways in the book that you can connect, and we want to hear those stories because it is time for the voices of parents to be heard, whether good, bad, or ugly. That's their experience, but that's to help educate those who are coming behind them to learn lessons, to learn the better way of doing things, or learn, okay, I went wrong here. How about this? That's what this book is. It's a resource of information that you can learn from in order to make an informed decision for your child.
Thank you, ladies, so much for taking the time. I'm here with 7 of the 10 inspiring women who have teamed up to release a powerful new book for mothers raising student athletes called Sports Mom's Playbook, a guide to balancing faith, family, and sports, published by Books for Athletes. The book is available on Amazon. Thank you, ladies, so much for taking the time. I really appreciate you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
Thank
having
you for
us.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Of course.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate